Hello, everybody. I'm Roadblock. We are, this is a Raid Shadow Legends video, sorry. We are on the free-to-play, but this isn't really going to be a free-to-play centric. I guess it kind of is. I'm going to give you a brief update, very brief, because like I've said in a recent video, I'm not doing a lot in the game right now. I've taken a slight little break. It's really funny. I made a video where I was like, hey, don't fall asleep during this fusion that a lot of people aren't going for. And then I went ahead and did that. I basically was like, ugh, raid, right? But I'm really getting excited again. I'm kind of bouncing back and like some of the stuff that they're teasing. I'm there, we should have, I don't know if the Adolin chase is still going on or not, but I suppose I can check that in the calendar, right? Okay, there we go. Check the calendar. So, yeah, it feels like that should be over, right? So there's gotta be somebody new coming eventually if they're still gonna do free legendaries, right? And then, of course, we have a new fusion that's gonna be announced, so we can look forward to that. On the free to play, I'm not doing much, but the main reason I wanted to make this video was to let you guys know that I am going to stream tonight and I'm going to pull shards. I had not previously intended to pull shards, but I kind of got the motivation a little bit on watching some of the other content creators pulling shards, and I know you guys like those shard pulls, so I'm going to pull my ancients on my main account only, and I'm not going to buy any additional shards. Even with maybe with gems, maybe I can be convinced with gems, but I know my mercy is very, very low. I'm flat out looking to get lucky. But I do want to talk about that a little bit. Now, my main account is currently running Sand Devil, we're going to talk about that as well. So, looking at the tournaments that are going on right now, I love doing the Sand Devil tournament usually. 3,000 is pretty steep for my free-to-play account. That's a hefty amount of energy that I'm not necessarily willing to commit. Now, granted, my energy is not doing anything on this account. However, I happen to build a pretty decent epic team. It's not fast. In fact, it's quite slow. But what I found out is that the team that I had for Ice Golem that was saved anyways, which was really, really funny to me. The team that I was using for Ice Golem that was already saved was this exact team, except it just had Ultimate Death Knight. Or maybe I made these changes. It's possible that I made these changes the other day. But either way, I put Taragi in there and it works just fine. I don't even know if Taragi has gear on him anymore now that I've moved on from him in Clan Boss. Yeah. Um, but yeah, the team's working fine. Um, it's very slow. It's like a 3-4 minute team, but I'm okay with that because it's on multi battles and I just let it run while I'm doing other stuff. So I'm choosing to use my energy on that. And the reason being, Immortal Soulstones, while they can be good, I don't know that they are going to, like, I don't know that this Immortal Soulstone is necessarily worth all of the extra effort that I'm putting into it. Especially since I don't really have a Sand Devil team. Like, I love doing Sand Devil on the main account because there's a chance that I can get the dust, right? Like, I don't know if it's going to show me the rewards per fight, but we're about to find out because we're at a break here. Okay, so just the potions, but yeah, so we're doing 40. That was 40 energy, and we got 80 points. So maybe I'm miscalculating a little bit. Maybe I'm miscalculating. I don't know. Let's do this since we're live. Let's analyze this tournament real quick. So if we go into dungeons and we go to Sand Devil, I don't know how consistent this run is, but let's try it and see. We'll take off Super 8s. So 12 energy. Let's see what this team does. I honestly don't know if this is consistent or not. she is my Godseeker is not in regen gear, so I'm really counting on healing from other sources on my Godseeker. And it may not be enough, if I'm honest, even for this run, because she has been reworked. You see that was a little bit of healing that she got there. She does have the clan boss healing set, but not regen, which I eventually want to build her in, of course. But the good news is that the revive will happen here, and then Newt will get another big hit out of it, and there we go. Okay, now my gear is too weak to build a regen set on Godseeker. That was 16 points per 12 energy. That's not as good as what we were getting, and we'll come back here because this should be 40 energy that I'm spending per run on the main account. And if I'm getting 80 points per, that's really good good results. So let me just verify that I read that correct. Yeah, 84 points, and that was 40 energy. So I'm getting a much better return on investment on the main account than I would get currently on the free-to-play with how my champions are built. So I think I'm going to continue and go after the summon pool. Now, let's talk about why, because I kind of was teasing that, and then I had the thought about, like, how many points per run I'm getting. So, one of the reasons why I think it's better to potentially do... The Dungeon Divers is pretty steep, too. But one of the reasons I'm leaning in this direction of going for the Prism Crystals rather than going for the Immortal Soulstone is because I can pull an Immortal Soulstone and get a soul that I don't need, right? I mean, look at all of these souls that I don't have champions for. Or at least the champions that they are for are not leveled up yet. This is a big factor. This is a big problem, I would say, on my account, because I'm suffering. You know, so I guess my point is, if I pull a really high soul for a Void Legendary, I'm so far away now from getting another Void Legendary that it's highly unlikely that I'm going to use that soul. However, if I go in the summon pool here and I get a Skull Crusher, I can empower my Skull Crusher, right? If I get a Morag, I can empower my Morag. Maybe finally level a Morag up, right? But especially if I get one of these legendaries. I mean, Kira, that gets me closer to Lady Mikage. Helikath is great in his own right. You've got Ragash being a really, really strong decreased defense, but also a stun champion. He can also hit very hard, and he brings a lot of buffs. I actually pair him quite often with my Seer because he brings so many buffs that she can work with. Firol is amazing. I talked about him the other day. I would love him. Mishinaki, I would love him. There's really, really good legendary options here. And even the epics could prove to be valuable if I use them in an empowerment fashion, or even just getting my first one of them. Like, I've been waiting for a Seeker for a really, really long time. I'd be able to get a Seeker, see if I can make that into something that works. So I'm excited to go after the Prism Shards. Now, we have all of the means to go for Prism Shards right now. I've already talked about it. One of them is the Epic-only Ice Golem, which feels kind of reasonable. The total points for it didn't seem to be anything too extreme. The biggest issue is just the time constraint. Because I'm running it with Epics, it takes that much longer, but multi-battles are a thing. I can let this run overnight and be done. I'm not that worried about it. I let it run for an hour while I went and did an errand today. So, yeah, we'll be good there. The other event, the Dungeon Divers, will be doing that alongside of farming Ice Golem. And what is the bonus for Ice Golem? I know there's a bonus that they've been doing. Reflex gear. We talked in depth about how, oh, if I only had reflex gear, my Wixwell team would have been easier to make. So I could potentially upgrade my Wixwell gear, or my Wixwell team, I should say, with a reflex set. And I might then even be able to free up Godseeker Aniri and put her in a regen set. I don't know what my regen gear on here really looks like. I know I always take a look at it on camera and then I'm like, oh, I have decent stuff. I should build something. But I don't know that it's as decent. I don't have any really good chest pieces for it, which is part of the problem. But that's something that I could use the optimizer perhaps to build to come up with a build that may work for my Godseeker to get better improvement out of her. So on the free to play, I am not pulling these ancient shards. There is just no reason to pull them on the free to play. Somebody did mention that my mercy tracker might not be correct relating to the free to play. Because it's been so long since I pulled. Wait, no, now I'm starting to think their comment was incorrect because let me see if I can find it. You pulled Newt and Suzerain from Sacreds. That is incorrect. You are incorrect. They were pulled from Ancients. This is how I know because I have this tracker. You can clearly see that is Suzerain right there. I will show it to you. Index. I guess I don't really know what he is, but I'll have him in here. So, Suzerain Catone. That's his image. Clearly, that's the same image. Yeah, I got them from Ancients. No, that's why I use the tracker. Unless you can clip me getting them off of Sacreds, I am I'm gonna trust my mercy tracker there and say that I got them off of Ancients. And I don't know that I've pulled any Ancients since then. If I have, I didn't track them. So that's kind of where we're at on the free-to-play account. Like, just gonna do the Ice Golem part of it. I am saving my resources. Like, I don't want to spend more gems than I have to. The Ice Golem one is a more reasonable energy requirement. If I'm looking at kind of a 1-to-1 energy per point ratio for the Sand Devil tournament, that's 3,000 energy, right? I spent 12 energy. I got 16 points. That's only a 2-point difference. So maybe over two, several, maybe 2,800 energy or something along those lines, maybe 2,900. But the reality is that 3,000 is a accurate barometer of how much energy I would need to commit to this particular tournament. And I don't think that amount of energy for one immortal soulstone is worth it when I could get a chance at I could get 3 chances at legendaries. We'll talk about the third chance in a second. But also getting potential epics for the account. So with epics having a higher value overall due to empowerment now. So the other way to get the resources is the Soul Chase tournament. Now these are incredibly deceptive because it does sound very tempting to say, okay, I can do 545 points. That doesn't sound like a lot. I could probably do that. Well, if I get a rare 4-star, it is only 6 points, right? Now I could get lucky and get a legendary 5-star and be already halfway there, or a legendary 6-star and blow it out of the water, right? There are a lot of different scenarios there. All I'm willing to commit is my Mortal Soul Stones and the Soul Coins here. And because I haven't been running a lot of this dungeon, I'm a little behind when it comes on those resources. Now, there is, of course, the benefit, but I'm pulling souls as well. So I do get that double dipping effect, right? I could get really good souls for my account. I'm willing to commit. Oops. So I'll just go ahead and do it. It doesn't really matter. 35 Mortal Soul Stones is all I'm willing to commit to try and get 500 points. I'm going to pull one, and let's see. Because I want to pull these on camera on stream tonight, but I want to show you, like, points-wise, what one of them is worth. That was 2 points, right? So at that rate, I would need, and obviously that rate is very poor, but at that rate, I would need, like, 200 of the Mortal Soul Stones to get the points that I'm looking for. Now, hopefully I will pull something better than that. Like, say we pull one more and see. But, you know, what are we? Another rare? Probably going to be like, oh, this is 1 point. Even worse. So I'm not super confident, but I will commit those resources. I will commit my Mortal Soul Stones to try and see if I can get this. But that's because it's a free account. Like, this is everything I'm willing to commit to it. Spending the Immortal on it isn't worth it, I don't feel like, because they offer bonuses to these Immortals, right? So I would rather, it's more beneficial for me to pull when the bonuses are going on than when they're not going on, especially for the Immortals. These Mortals were all free, right? This is all from doing Iron Twins. Now, what I can do is also run Iron Twins now and spend my daily resources here for my Iron Twins. I will knock that out, get that done, and then I'll be able to use those resources to potentially get another Mortal Soul Stone, and then I'll do it again tonight before I go live on stream. So 10 p.m. Eastern time, I will be streaming. I will pull my Mortal Soul Stones on the free-to-play, and then I will pull my Ancient Shards on the main account. I had 50 of them the last time I checked. I don't intend to go any more than that. Maybe I spend some gems. It is my main account. I get gems from the daily gem pack, so I do get a decent stockpile of gems. So I could use gems to get some more Ancients, but I don't think my Mercy is very high. I'm very unlikely to do that. I'm simply hoping to get lucky and simply looking to get a video out of a shard pull because you guys love watching them and I love making them, right? So, we'll see. The other thing I want to talk about and why things are different on that account and why I'm willing to waste away 50 Ancient Shards on that account. I'm going to go ahead and actually stop this multi-battle so that I can show you the account and kind of talk about where the real value lies now on this account. On my free-to-play account, Ancients still have a lot of value. Granted, I do have a bunch of Sacreds, so I could use these for a Summon Rush or other events. But Ancients hold a lot of value on this account, especially with Epic Empowerment. That is a big part of things now, but also Epics in general. I talked about this in my other video, but in case you missed it, one of the biggest reasons that I'm waiting to pull during a 2x event is the increased chance at Epics, because I could potentially get Lady Mikage. If I can get lucky enough to pull the epics that I need, that gets me closer to Lady Mikage, which will completely change my account. I am in desperate need of a full team ally attack champion. She's good in Hydra. She's good in dungeons. She's good everywhere, even arena. Lady Mikage is an amazing, amazing champion, and I would love to have her. So that is kind of where I'm coming from, right? Like, I think it's more beneficial to me to go for epics on this account. Even if we take that out of the equation, one of the biggest issues when it comes to legendaries is books. If I get good epics and I can empower those good epics, I can then use those characters in varying areas of the game and ascend and book them, or fill out my faction guardians, right? So right now in dwarves, for instance, I've almost got the +6 to speed because I've filled out so many dwarves here. And that's making my epics stronger. And then when we talk about having the opportunity to empower them, it can make a big difference. I'm actually looking here to see. I think I would be better off if I take the Phenaxes out, but use the because I don't think empowering the Shamails is as good as empowering the Phenax, who I really want to build for a live arena, actually. And I can get a +1 Phenax, I think is better than a +1 Inquisitor. Not that he would be bad being +1, he would be great being +1, but I do think I get a lot of value out of... Although, I wonder if what I'm trying to +1 him for, Constantine just does now. So, that's something that I need to figure out now that I'm finally, like, coming back to the game after a short little break. I can start diving in here and figuring out my next steps and what I really want to do. Looking forward to any champion training stuff coming up for the Fusion, right? So that's what's going on the free-to-play account. Even though I just proved that these are not a lot of points here, I'm still going to pull them. There's not much reason to not pull them, to be honest, other than saving for future events. But if I'm lucky enough to get 545 points, which I don't think I'm going to get. I really don't think I'm going to get. I would get those 30 crystals. Really, all what I'm banking on in order to be able to do it is pulling a legendary of reasonable value is really what I'm looking for. Or a mythical. You know, I could get lucky and get like a mythical 5-star, right? I mean, and that has happened before. I don't know where they particularly were pulled from, but I have received them. And even, like, you know, we've got legendary 5-stars in here and all kinds of different souls that I've pulled in the past that could be beneficial. So we will see what kind of luck I manage to have on stream tonight. Again, that's 10 p.m. Eastern time. I'll probably get on a little bit before that, just to give you guys time to come hang out. But I will be planning on pulling some pretty quickly. Sometime around like 10:10 or 10:15. You know, I try to give people time to show up to the stream. So if you want to come hang out and see it live, I'm gonna do it live, right? So I look forward to seeing you guys then. Thank you for watching. If you like my content and you're looking for a way to support me, the best possible way right now is to click that subscribe button and click that like button. That helps promote the video and get more eyes on it. Something I noticed very recently, I made a video that's a little outside my comfort zone recently, which was the last video where I'm mad. And I did something in there that I was proud of, where I put like a little bit of an edit in there that was not in line with my normal type of content. But also that video has done way better than a lot of my other videos tend to do. So we saw almost 600 views at the time of this recording. So thank you guys. That's all you guys. That's you guys liking the video. That's you guys promoting the video, commenting on the video. I've got 9 comments. That's one of my most commented videos in the last week or so, if not longer. So that's a shout out to you guys, and you know, helping me out and helping my channel grow, because that, of course, in turn gets me more channel subscribers and all that stuff. So thank you so much for that support and that help. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. As always, thank you guys for watching. I will see you tonight on stream, and if I don't see you then, I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.